Okay, hey guys, Anime West Reacts here. It's going to be a review slash video pretty much on Seraph of the End, chapter 91. The title of this chapter is called Orphan Prince. And so on the cover we have Farid, it's like holding the angel type chains in one hand, and then the other hand he has like one of the Seraph daggers, but he's like all got like blood all over them and on his face it looks like. But yeah, it's like a really cool looking cover. And so we start the chapter off pretty much with the demon army, or the Hyakuya sect, more like saying one of the members yelling, "Retreat, retreat! The mission is complete. Pull back, hurry!" And then you got Koreto yelling to the demon army not to let the Hyakuya sect operatives escape and pursue and capture them. And then we got Fair Crowd walking through the battlefield. And then Farad's like, hey Crowley, I find myself feeling a little peckish. How about you? And then Crowley's like, yeah, now that you mention it, I am a little thirsty. I did a lot of exercise today. And then you got like one of the Demon Army members pushing down one of the Hyakuya sect members. He's like, die, Hyakuya sect scum. But then the guy kicks him and he falls over as well. Or Demon Army guy gets kicked, he falls over, and then the Hyakuya sect guy gets back up and he's like, no, you die, Demon Army bastard. And then Farad grabs the Hyakuya sect guy by the head and he says, I've always preferred children's blood, but you'll have to do. And so then he starts to drink this guy's blood and he's like, why no? And then you just hear Ag, and then like see his like legs and they just like go limped, and then you see his like hand fall over, and then Fair's just like, disgusting. And then the other guy, and he's like, thank you, sir. Like, thank you for saving me, sir, pretty much. And then Fair's like, no problem, after all. It's only natural we help each other. So, he's like, do you want this blood, Crowley? The guy's like, huh? Like, what? And so, of course, Crowley's like, didn't you just say we're allies? And Fair's like, but the blood of allies you just betrayed is the tastiest kind. So, of course, this guy is like, out now, like sweating profusely. And then it's like, true. Carly's like, true, you did guzzle mine down way back when. And Fair laughs, like, yeah, I seem to remember that being tasty. And then Ferret's like, yes, thinking about it, it was delicious. I want to drink it again, turn back into a human so I can. Then Carly's like, don't ask for the impossible. And he's like, or Ferret then says, oh, as you're still tasty, I wonder. Maybe I'll have a sip and see. And Carly's like, I wouldn't if I were you. Try and I'll drink your blood. And then Ferret's like, ooh, really, that could be fun. What do you desire me now? So Carly's like, okay, do it. Or Ferret's like, okay, do it. Drink my blood. Drink so much that you nearly kill me. No, wait, actually kill me. And then Carly starts sweating, and then Ferret like smiles, and then you see him like look at the ground. You see these like drag marks on the ground towards this alleyway. And Ferret notes that tracks on the concrete like long chains dragged in the dirt. So he picks up the Seraph dagger thing, and then he's like, and Carly's just can we stop with the jokes now? Let's do what we're here for. So yeah, obviously they were like cheering about the whole drinking each other's blood thing. And then Carly's like, have you noticed? And then, or Spirit says, have you noticed? Carly says, yes, I smell blood. The same blood that flows in our veins, Father's blood. And then Farrah laughs, says, yeah, it's Papa's scent. So then we have Rigger kind of like what's kind of left of Rigger in this like alleyway behind this like trash bin or something, and he's literally just like the top, like one arm, this whole side, like right here. Yeah, like just like top, like a quarter of him is left pretty much. He's got one arm, then he's just got all these chains like at the bottom or out of what's left of him. And he's like huffing and puffing, saying, "Boy, this is incredible. Not healing at all. I guess this is what happens when you get hit with a sinful key." And have him just kind of look up and say, "Will I be able to get away? My plan isn't complete yet." And then Farad shows up being like, "Papa, oh Papa, I love you, so I've come to kill you." And he like drags his sword through the wall or something. Or he's dragging, I guess, the Seraph knife through the wall. And then Rigger's like, "Farad, you came." And yeah, he's standing in front of him. And Rigger says, "What's your plan for all of this, hmm?" And Farad's like, "Plan?" And Rigger says, "You mean to kill me, yes? To what point? What do you get from it?" And Farad's like, "Point." And then he starts talking to Crowley like he's asking what the point is. "What do you think of it, Crowley? Personally, I think it's the father's duty to teach his sons what the point of living is." And Crowley's like, "Did you learn the point of living from Papa at all?" Or maybe Barrett asked Crowley that. And then Crowley's like, "You force fed me a vial of father's blood, so technically you made me a vampire. Doesn't that mean you should teach it to me, not him? Basically, you're the one that turned me into a vampire, so aren't you technically my father?" And so yeah, he's like, "But I'm the picture of familial responsibility. Of course I taught it to you." I was like, "What is the point of life? Don't you remember?" Or, and Crowley's like, "I don't remember you doing that." And Faird's like, "Oh, don't lie. You remember I taught it to you over and over. First, I started by killing everyone who was important to you." Then we get like a flashback of Baird doing exactly that. Back when like Crowley was human and Baird just massacring everyone Crowley cared about, and then Crowley screaming. And then Ferris says, "But despite that tragedy, the world didn't change one bit. You live and you live, but it changes. Ever the sky can be blue or black, it doesn't matter. There's no point to living at all, not one." Or none, I think is what he actually said. Yeah, none. And then he says, at least that's what I taught my son." And then you guys Crowley like, "What?" That's like the look he's giving him. And then Ferret says, if I'm somehow wrong though, then teach us. Show us show us what meaning there is to life, Papa." And then yeah, he like holds up the knife, and then suddenly Ferret gets like cut on his face and by one of the chains pretty much, and Crowley's like, "That was fast." And you have like him kind of lick the blood. And so yeah, Ferret's like, "I can do that too, you know." And then you see like the chains that are like in the bottom half of his body attacking, or in Regger's bottom half of the body start attacking Ferret, but he's like parrying them all, and then he jumps up really high and tries to bring the knife down on Regger, but he gets like wrapped up in the chain on his arm. And then he's like, Ferret's like, "Come on, this is dull. Struggling won't get you anything. Let it be over, Papa." And then yeah, he's just kind of like laying there, and he says, "Ferret Bathory, making you into a vampire was a mistake." And Ferret's like, "Oh, and what point is there trying to say that? And what point is there saying that?" And he's like, first and foremost, you were always abnormal." So we go into a brief flashback of Farrad having killed someone. And then someone's like yelling, Farrad, what are you doing? And yeah, it's like, why is, I guess his mom's like, why is father dead? Or a sister or something. Asking him why father is dead. What on earth did you do to him? And he says, hi, mother, I love you. And so yeah, he killed his dad and most likely his mom as well because he loves them, I guess. And so yeah, then got back to the present. So yeah, it's a little brief flashback, I guess, to show you how abnormal he is. And so yeah, back in the present, he's like all tied up, and Farrah's like, "Oh, I've always been perfectly normal, especially for someone who is the second in line for a royal throne." So yeah, Farrah is the prince in the title. And then he's like, "I had such a strict upbringing. They were teaching me to be a saint." And Crowley is like, "What? You a prince? No way." And then Farrah's just like, "Hey, I am, so look at me closely. Don't I have a princely face?" And Crowley's like, "I wouldn't know." And he's like, "Aw." And the chains like start, and he's like, "Heal, get my power back. If I focus, I can still." And then Farrah says, "So, Papa, I think I've let you buy enough time for yourself. Even if you heal, do you think you could get out of the range of the sinful key's reach?" Yeah, that's what the dagger thing is, sinful key. And then you got Rigger thinking, "Oh, I could escape, but that's not the problem. Someone I really don't want to deal with is almost here." And so you have him thinking, "I have to move quickly before he arrives." And then you have someone, Barrett say, is this really it? Is this all that life is in 1,000 years chasing after you, and it's all going to be over this easily? So yeah, Farrah's like disappointed. And then someone from like in the darkness of the alleyway says, "Do you want help, brother?" And then Farrah's like, brother, did I just hear someone say that?" And then Rigger's like, "Damn it. You were the last person I wanted help from." And then Carly yells, "Fair trouble," and he like immediately cuts off the arm that's chained up and grabs it, and he's like, "I do not have." Carly's like, "I do not have a good feeling about this." And Fairly, and he's like, some person in the darkness, getting closer, says, "Look at you, Rigger. This is why I told you not to turn him." And so yeah, then Rigger's like, "Too late for that now. If you meant it, you should have tried harder to stop me back then, Erd." And so yeah, the ones that arrive are Erd, Kyluk, and or Leskar, I think is his name. And so yeah, again, Erd says, "Do you want my help, Rigger?" And then he like looking forward, and then he looks away, and he's like, "Yes, help me." And then Farragh's like, "Hoo boy, this is bad, Crowley." And so that's in the chapter with Erd attacking Farrah and Crowley. But yeah, overall, pretty good chapter. So a lot of focus this time was on Crowley, or mainly Crowley and Farrah and what's going on with them. Them having tracked down Rigger, but are now stopped by Erd, and like he's helping out Rigger because he asked for him to. But overall, thought it was a good chapter. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like, comment on the video, subscribe for more anime reactions, reviews, and manga reviews. And yeah, check out links down below to stuff like my Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. And I will see you all next time. So yeah, later.